Kevin. Some people call me Kevin, because my last name is Zhang, which is Z-H-A-N-G. Sometimes people do not know how to pronounce the name, so I'm shorted for Kevin Z. So if you can see some Kevin Z is my name. Okay, so I'm in charge of the global community, especially developer community. I'm based in San Francisco, which is the Bay Area. I know some people call it Silicon Valley. So today's topic for me will be focused on three parts. First is what is value, internet for whales, so internet value. I'll give you a real case. So we talk a lot about Elastos is something new, it's different than the traditional blockchain. We currently don't have any kind of a real competitor right now. But I was asked so many times, can you give me a real case, like the real business case? How the problem is, and the problem cannot be solved by the traditional centralized non-blockchain technology or even by any other blockchain company. I was asked so many times. So today I'm going to give you a real case. And after the problem, at least the problem first, then I will tell you about the structure of the Elastos, like the technical structure. I'll try to make it as simple as possible, as long as it's good enough to understand how we solve the problem. Then we're going back to the real problem, how we're going to solve it using the technology we have. And the last, I'm talking about the Cyber Republic, which is a new term. Maybe you don't know that yet. You will be very excited to hear that. It's called Cyber Republic. So before I get to the real talk, I'm going to thank all the organizers of our Europe tour. Currently we are at Amsterdam. You can see we already toured for London, Barcelona, Zurich, Berlin, Amsterdam, and tomorrow we're going to Ghent, and the last one will be Paris. So all these meetups are not organized by us. They are organized by our community leaders, the volunteers. So I have to thank everyone in the list and everyone who is not in the list but also contribute to our community. Really thank. They make the events happen, not us. We just gave them like an opportunity, and they gave us the opportunity to make it happen. So thank you, everybody. Okay, let's go back to the real case. Sometimes not work very well. Go. Press the button. It's moved. Okay, great. Okay, let's talk about the Internet of Whales. The old internet. Sometimes we are building the new internet, but compared with the old internet actually transfer information. Just like we use Google, we use Facebook every day. We share information. We can use for free, but what is cost? Its cost is we sell our privacy. We sell our privacy to make the company like Google, Facebook. They are super rich. And that's the reason why the housing price of Silicon Valley is so high, because they are super rich and can pay a pretty high salary to hire people. But the user actually do not really get anything, right? Well, yes, you got free internet, but you sell your privacy. That is something in trade. But in the new internet, we're doing differently. So as we had a pretty famous video for Elastos, the title of the video is called "You Own Your Own Data." That means you actually own something. We talk about the data. Actually, data is value, the assets. So now we're going to give you a real case is the assets, how you're going to own it, and how you can sell it, and how you're going to gain some profit by selling it. So the case is a movie. A movie called actually is not a real project name because it's one of our partners' project. We haven't signed a contract yet, so I'm not authorized to release the name of the project. But you will know next month. 2 weeks later, there will be a big announcement. That's from our partner. I just use the movie called as a temporary name, so it's it's something about movie. So, what is the problem you're trying to solve? Majority is a few problems. First is the movie, currently you can streaming movie from internet, and sometimes you can, maybe not in Europe, maybe some other country, they actually save the file into like a movie data file. You can just distribute it to your friends. Your friends can watch it for free, right? It happens all the time. But on the other hand, a lot of movie makers, they need to make money. they need the funding to shoot a video. But to get especially for those independent movie makers, they need the funding, and because they're too small, they're not the Hollywood big names, they get some trouble to like what we can do in Kickstarter. They cannot do that so far. They get a lot of trouble on get funding, and also they get some trouble on distributing channel. Distributing channel right now in movies is small, fewer big names. So the smaller independent movie maker, they cannot make it. Then there's a few problems: funding and the distribution channel, and also the copyright. So before Elastos, the few problems had not been solved yet. But let me tell you how Elastos is going to solve the problem. You can see a new way way of thinking. How we can keep the digital assets is you actually own it, and how you can resell it probably at a higher value. And how you protect your data, your assets, by running the application in, we call it RT, the runtime. I'll go to the next slide, you can see RT there. And what technology we use to keep it in real enforcement. That is today's topic. Ooh. Okay, here we go. In order to understand how Elastos fix a problem, we actually have to go to a few technology terms. I try to make it as simple as possible, like what Elastos is, the structure. You can see a few terms, but to be easier, I just move to this diagram. So compare with we're starting from the bottom up. So compare with existing blockchain project like Ethereum, Bitcoin. We actually more than that. Yes, we do have some of the similarity. Like we also have a chain. You can see the Elastos blockchain over there, and we're on top of the Bitcoin blockchain. But instead of that, beside of that, we also have something we call a carrier. Carrier is a connection layer, just Zhang just mentioned, is a P2P network. We actually use our carrier replace HTTP. Yes, you hear it right. HTTP, which is considered to be the backbone of the internet, right? But that is old internet. We're talking about new internet. The carrier actually is a P2P network, so all the information is transferred between nodes, and all the nodes are using the DHT to find others. Even the other node is behind the firewall, we can always find a way to penetration through the firewall. And you don't really need to know the IP address of the other node, as long as you know the public ID, which is we can talk about later on our ID chain. You can always find a way to contact them. And all the content of the information is encrypted. So without the private key, there's no way to get information. This is not like the simply as HTTP. HTTP is talking usually between the nodes and a client and server, and because it's server. But now we do things serverless. That means there's no server at all. And on top of carrier, we have a Elastos runtime. Runtime, sometimes we short for RT. That is a virtual machine, or sometimes we call it sandbox. The sandbox is a virtual machine running on your existing operating system, or we also have Elastos OS, which is running on top of the IoT devices. It's not a virtual machine; it's a real machine, the real OS. And the sandbox is used for running the DApps. So in this case, the DApps will be running inside the sandbox, not on the operating system directly. A good example is John just mentioned the CryptoKitty. CryptoKitty is always considered to be a very popular DApps because people consider it a decentralized application. Yes, in some case, yes, but you still need to download the application, the code from a server, right? So server is centralized. If the server is down, you don't have any application running, right? And you also still need a browser, and the browser you still need to install. For example, if you're using a Chrome, you need to download a MetaMask to contact the Ethereum network. So in that case, you have to use a centralized technology plus a browser plus a plugin. But we actually put everything together into a sandbox. So your application will be running inside the sandbox. And what does the sandbox do? They actually block the traffic, block HTTP. So in that case, If your application still want to call a server to send some confidential information to the backdoor to your server, you cannot make it anymore because all the traffic is blocked. You have to use our SDK API to connect to using carrier to connect to another either node, or you can call server or call database or whatever, or a chain node. We use that to control the traffic. In that case, we make the system super secure. I will tell you why we're gonna do that for maybe after a few minutes when we get to the final corner. And all these nodes actually are running. All the blockchain, our blockchain, are running in the two kind of chain, the main chain and the set chain. The main chain is ELA chain, ELA. We call it ELA, which is our main chain, is our token. That is merge mining with Bitcoin. The merge mining, we do merge mining because Bitcoin is considered to be so far the most reliable, longest, and slow. It's a chain, but it's still okay for us because we do not put any logic in our main chain. The main chain is as simple as possible, just a proof existence to all the other set chains. So we do the merge mining with Bitcoin, and the logic actually, if you have a DApp, the logic is in your set chain. You can have everything. Even you don't really want to use the POW, we can have your own consensus model. Doesn't matter. We don't really care. As long as you are our set chain, you can give us. Every time you got a new block, you give the hash to our main chain. We can help you to save it. We use the hash power of Bitcoin to make sure that the data is secure, the chains are immutable. That's what we do. And also, when you make the new DApp, because we have a virtual machine, so that making DApp is easier than like a traditional way make a DApp. So for example, if you you have your existing application, you have your existing code. In the future, you don't really have to redo everything. You can keep your existing code and just modify to make sure you remove all the HTTP part, replace with the carrier part. You remove some server code into a smart contract. You just change it up. It can make it easier. That is the benefit for developer. So you don't have to do a lot of things, learn a lot of new things from scratch. We make it developer friendly. And also, even if you don't want to make a smart contract, you don't want to learn Solidity, and in the future, you may have a chance to use your existing logic in Python or in C#, whatever, you can using that in our system in the future. So that is also a big benefit. All right, let's see. Go. All right. So let's go back to our case study. Back to MovieCon. You already know what Elastos is different than other chain and what the technology behind the Elastos. So let's see how we're going to use it. First, let's see how we prevent people download the movie and then send to other people to get the illegal copy. How are we going to do that? Okay, so as Zhang just mentioned, the digital assets in our system is executable. It's code. It's not a pure data. It's code, and the code, including the movie data, but the movie data is encrypted by each individual. Each copy will be different. So every movie, let's say we have a movie. The movie have 1,000 copies. This scarcity. The 1,000 copy means there only 1,000 copy. You actually cannot make 1,001 copy. So each copy is different than others, and each copy is actually an executable code. The code is a DApp which is running inside a sandbox. So when sandbox load the DApp, the movie, I'm talking about movie, it will check the hash of the DApp, make sure it's not changed at all. And why they check it? Because if some hacker modifies the DApp to add a feature to download the decrypted version of the movie, they can actually copy the movie to other people, and other people can watch the movie for free, right? But if you don't have the feature in Sandbox, and you cannot modify the code to add the feature to the DApps, you actually have no way to get it out. So the DApp, the RT, the runtime actually can be the monitor of the application. When the application starts, it actually check the sorry, back to next page. Go. Doesn't want to go. Oh. Go. Okay. Here we go. So this is the diagram of. So the RT is the runtime. They load the viewer's application. Every time the viewer application is loaded, it will check the hash with the original hash number in the chain ID chain. If the application is modified by anything, as long as the code is modified, the hash will be different. So the RT will refuse to load the application to make sure the application is not changed. And on the other hand, the application also checks the hash of RT. If the RT is modified by some virus or whatever, it will refuse to start either because all the hash has been recorded in the chain, in the ID chain, so everybody can check. And where the ID come from? From another at the beginning where the movie is made. So let's go back to the beginning of the movie, beginning of the story. So let's see, Zhang is a famous director, a movie maker. He wants to make a movie, and he needs some money to like funding to start a movie. And he has a story, and before Elastos, they have to go to Hollywood. There are some investors they can try to pitch for funding. But what if the movie is not, they don't really like, the investor doesn't understand that they cannot make enough money to start shooting the video. But now, what we can do is we can have the ICO for this movie on our channel. So anybody who like this idea, like the story, like a script, or believe this movie maker is famous, they can make it very big. They actually can buy the token, and every logic, all the ownership will be locked, recorded in the chain. So because there is a smart contract, this is a basic concept. I don't need to repeat. So you actually own a copy of this movie. This is similar to what we do in the Kickstarter. I believe you know Kickstarter. So Kickstarter, if some like a geeky, I have an idea, I want to make something, but I need some money to make some prototype, or from the prototype to a production, I need some people to crowdfunding to help me. So this is similar to crowdfunding. So let's keep going. So once the investor buy the token and the movie maker actually got the token, they can sell the either it's a Bitcoin, whatever kind of token, sell it for real money. He can use the money to shoot the video. And once the video is done, he need to go back to we call it Golden Master DApp to turn the master copy. The master copy is actually is not protected. It's just like the video from the camera. They need to use application to do a scramble, or we call it deapplize. That means the movie original video file will be turned to, let's say, 1,000 different copy of the encrypted file. The file would be app will be saving somewhere like IPFS or some whatever it is, and all the ID of each copy will be saved in the ID chain. And based on the smart contract, the original owner who actually invested will own some of the copy. Some people, if I buy 2 copies, I will have 2 copies. I'll be the owner for 2 copies. If you buy 1, you are an owner of the 1 copy. Maybe you just invest like very limited money, then you own half of the movie, still okay. You're just a part of one co-owner of 1 copy. So each copy and each owner will have a mapping in the smart contract. So everybody can check, say who owns each copy. If I don't own any copy, you cannot find my name over there. And after that, the original master gold copy will be destroyed. So in the world, there will not be the original copy. There only have 1,000 each DApps, which is everyone's different, with a special key encrypted. And you have to have the key to watch the movie. If you don't have the key, the file just started and it won't work. So that's the first time. Shooting video, putting on chain, and after that, the investors, you have, because you own the movie, you actually can run the application on the RT. When RT started, as I just mentioned, the RT will check the hash of the DApp, the movie, with the chain hash, the hash in the chain. If that match, also check the RT, make sure you own it, and your RT is not modified. Then you can go back to the smart contract, give you a key. The key actually is related to your machine, your user ID, your special key of the special ID of the DApp. So the key can be matching, and you can watch the movie. Now you can watch it. But if you give the movie to other people for free, he is using another RT, which is different hash, and another user ID, another. But the movie is the same. It's still going to same process, and going back to the chain, RT going to chain to check. This time, the RT doesn't match, the movie match, but the owner doesn't match. So they will not get the key. The smart contract will not issue a key to this person, even the same movie, but because the RT is different, the key will not unlock it. So you can still not play it. But how you can sell it? You go to the marketplace. There's digital assets marketplace. You sell it, and some people you can list the price. Other people buyer want to buy it, and if you have a transaction, the transaction will change the ownership in the blockchain. So the buyer can play the movie because now he is the owner, and the smart contract will issue a new key to this guy. This guy can watch the video, watch the movie. That is how it works. So let's say the business caused by this new idea. So now compare with the old way. The old way is like what we have right now. We do streaming, we do streaming, or we do buying some the digital copy. Right now, what you own? Like I pay $20 for Netflix, or I pay like how much $90 for a year for Amazon Prime. I didn't own anything. Yes, I have the right to watch the video for a year or for a month, but I didn't own anything. After the time expired, the time expired, I don't own anything. I just lost my money. But in this new way, you actually own a copy of the movie. If you are a social influencer, what you can do is you actually can tell other people the movie is really cool, and you gotta watch the movie. If you are an influencer, there will be a lot of people like to watch the movie. But because it's a scarcity, there's no longer a master copy. If you want to watch a movie, the only way is you go to the marketplace to buy a copy. Then you can sell a copy, right? As long as more people want to buy, because the demand supply, the price maybe get higher. So in that case, there is an opportunity for people to like own a copy, digital assets, and resell it for profit. It is possible because the scarcity we made in the digital assets. So this is very different than the original internet economy. The original internet economy is just everything is public, most likely free, and you buy a subscription and you can watch it for free, but you don't own it. And if you don't really want to pay, you can still find a way to watch it, but in this way, it's different. So this is one example about how we digitalized the assets into a ownable digital assets, and you can resell it in the market. So this is one example. We also have some other example. Another company in New York City, it's also our partner, name is Fresco. They use the similar business model. They turn the art, for example, paint from the artist into the digital assets. And the digital assets is put into the blockchain, and people can own either half or one part or a lot of the paints. And they actually can sell it on the market. All the ownership is recorded in the chain, so you don't really need to take the paint to your basement or some safe. You still own it because everybody has consensus on the chain. So if you own it, you own it. If you don't own it, you don't own it. This is the idea. We do have a lot of examples, but because of time limitation, I can just share you one example. And if you have more time, we can have other project I can share with you later. No, I think I have to press a button. Doesn't work very well. Oops, sorry. So, Cyber Republic. It's not a country, hey? If you try to find it on the Google map, I don't really think you can find it. It's just a community, Elastos community. The reason we have that is if you remember the white paper we have, the ICO or the how many token contribution, you will realize we have 33 million of ELA token in the blockchain, in the Genesis blockchain. There is 16 million, about a half of the total supply is owned by nobody. It is used for reserved for the build the community and the reward to the contributor. That is still there, nobody touched it. But now we are going to move the ownership from the council of the Elastos Foundation to a council. The council is called the Cyber Republic. So that it means the people who contribute to Elastos, we consider those people are citizens of the Cyber Republic. We have a bounty program inside the Cyber Republic that we list all the modules and all the tasks we cannot do ourselves because Elastos is not a company, it's just an organization. We don't have a lot of employees there. And everybody all over the world, doesn't matter where you are, you don't have to move to China, you don't have to move to San Francisco. You actually can still contribute to the Cyber Republic by either contribute to code or help us test. Or you are social influencer, you can spread our words, or you make them design, or running a node. There are a lot of things we need the community to do, or help us set up these events, organize the events. You can always do. So this is considered to be a contributor, and we will give you reward. This used to be called the EBP, Elastos Bounty Program, but now we changed to an even better name, Cyber Republic, like the citizen people there. We also have a constitution we're going to release in next month. August. We're going to release a constitution. So constitution is about how we're going to organize the Cyber Republic and how people can vote to decide how the 16 million ELA will be used and what is the policy we're gonna have. So we give the power to the citizen of the Cyber Republic. Yeah, we may also issue a passport, but maybe not good for travel purpose. So this is the Cyber Republic, and but by the way, we also have a 4% annual inflation. That is also we have continuous income from the inflation. And also, if you are a citizen of Cyber Republic, not only do some tasks for us to get the ELA from the council, you can also run your business in this virtual economy. For example, you can run a ICO on the movie, right? You can do the business, and you can earn some token from other people. Run the business, or you run a node, or you run a POS node, or even carry a node. In many ways you can be attending or join this virtually economy system. That's many ways. And the last I'm going to give another case study, like a real people case study. So we have a one member of Cyber Republic. He's just sitting over there. Karen, KP Woods. He is one of very active active member of our Cyber Republic, and I'm going to give the microphone to him and let him to share his story, why he joined Cyber Republic, and what is the benefit. What the future of Cyber Republic? I'm give the come on, Gary.